Iron Claw. Lauren hates films.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, we're recording. We've got to work out a proper intro one of these
No, we
days.
don't.
No,
It's the
no.
best.
No,
No, we don't.
just keep this forever. Are we recording? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, hold on. I need to put my headphones on so you can actually hear me.
We'll wait for you, Reese. It's fine.
We'll wait.
I'm just connecting the head right.
All right. So if you think this film is better than the better than Edge of 17, what we're doing?
It's not connecting. It
Oh.
says connecting.
Not connecting.
Oh, are we
Hello?
there? Yeah, we're there.
Okay.
So let's spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Should I have missed it all already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took that long.
It took so long.
Come on, Transformers.
This week it will happen.
Okay. The Iron Claw.
I've written.
Oh.
So good.
So fun.
Okay.
I did not expect that film to be so sad.
I cried so many times.
I was like, oh, it's a wrestling thing. It's gonna be, Steinomics and blood feuds and tribal chiefs. No.
No.
No, just real,
So
true,
sad.
story.
Yeah.
I took some screenshots yesterday we can get into later where the film left a lot of stuff out. So it's even
me and Reese
Really?
are probably gonna have like a trivia off because I've researched so much of it
about this family. Yeah.
It's just so it's worse. It's worse.
So much worse.
Okay,
they cut stuff out. So
okay,
it wasn't.
So we'll do this. We'll do this now. There is another brother. There is a fifth brother that also died. So there's David, there's Kerry, there's Mike, and there's Kevin. Those are the four that we see. There was another brother called Chris who killed himself in between Mike and Kerry.
Yeah.
He was the youngest,
and the one that died as a kid. Yeah.
As a kid as well.
Yeah. So there's Jack Jr. So there's 6 brothers altogether.
Yeah.
5 of them died.
Wow.
Kevin, my turn. Kevin had a daughter first that died before.
No, it's David. David had a daughter first.
Oh, she got you there. Like this is.
What am I thinking of?
David was the one that died first. He had a 1-year-old daughter.
I thought Kevin had a daughter first.
No, it was David.
Did
I've researched this.
Move on. Go on to your next point.
So David had a daughter that died pretty young. What else did I realize?
No, David had a kid who died from.
Yeah, David, not Kevin. You said Kevin.
Oh, I said Kevin, didn't
I? They said that. So they don't touch on this in the film, but it's a rumor that. So do you know the dad, Von Erich?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be like a Nazi wrestler, and that was his whole shtick. Like he was a Nazi, and people beat up the Nazis. But one of a Holocaust survivor came up to him and went, "You're depicting this in a way. I hope everyone you love suffers the way that everyone I loved suffered." And that's how they thought that the Von Erich curse started.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine him bored of good luck. You know.
No, it's just.
I've got here in real life. Fritz told Kevin that Kevin's only alive because he didn't have guts to kill himself like his brothers. That is just terrible.
Yeah, Fritz Von Erich is just not a good.
I changed my notes from the Iron Claw to an ode of hatred of these parents.
The mum was alright. She just kind of gave up.
No, the mum was. I feel like the mum was just.
She was like an enabler.
Not present, from the beginning.
It was just. But yeah, so the actual story, because the director was like, he had the other brother in for so long in the script beforehand.
Yeah.
But he was like, part of him was like, we have to cut down on time. It's harsh, but we don't have enough time. And the other part was, no one's going to believe me if there are this much
I was wondering.
tragedy.
Yeah.
Because it was just back to back.
I found this one from a Letterboxd comment, but it was Kevin tried to go to prison or die by suicide by trying to rob like a gun store, but he was saved by someone as soon as he went in there, someone just went, "Oh, I love you, Kev," and he just was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" That is real sad.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's all I have. Yeah, Kerry had. Did we touch on Kerry had 2 daughters and a wife before he
got divorced and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kerry hid his. No one knew that he was an amputee. He hid and suffered with his amputation and didn't let the public, the press, no one knew. Because he didn't want to lose any of his like contracts or didn't want to lose his fame because people.
Well, they did talk about it in the film, and it's like, you really want to hide this? Like, you're gonna have to get real good.
Yeah.
Great film, though. Let me tell you.
This film is amazing.
Good.
Good film. And I feel like we did this ages ago because I watched this immediately after we did the last, because I had no time to do it, and
I've been waiting to talk about it since I finished. I was like, this just so much.
I think I'm the only one that's watched it before again. I believe. Yeah, man.
So and it's one I've been wanting to watch for ages, so I'm really glad I did.
Yeah.
Zac Efron's performance in this.
Oh my god, he's so good. It's so different from.
Phenomenal. Considering the last time I've pretty much seen him in anything was like Bad Neighbours and a bit of High School Musical. This man has upped his game.
I don't think he was nominated for like anything.
I know. I remember thinking that it had been Big Noise and not hearing anything from it. I remember being like,
Zac deserved at least a nomination.
Yeah, for sure.
He was great.
Incredible. I mean, that part at the end when he's with his kids and like the healing of like the kids, like healing us off.
The director told.
I was like, this guy's family.
I used to be a brother. I'm like, oh
no.
Oh god.
No, it's when they're in heaven and fucking.
When they're in heaven and just.
Yeah.
Guess you a little brother Jack. I was like,
so nice to meet you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. With that Zac Efron crying at the end, the director told him to not cry throughout the entire film because you only see his like eyes water, so that the release of finally grieving his sons at the end hits that much better. Oh, just such good filmmaking. Oh,
yeah.
Some of the shots in this film are so good. Like one shot that like there's the shot of the dad when they're all going out to the ring for the first time and he's just kind of looming in the darkness.
Yeah.
I was like, he's controlling the narrative. And then there's the scene where David's in the bathroom and he's coughing and you see that one speck of blood and then it moves and it's the entire thing. And you're like, shit, this is bad. Those things.
It's the editing for me, like the mix of like I think one scene where it was Mike after he had his accident, just like trying to play the guitar and singing, and then it cut to Kerry and Kevin in the yard. And you can still hear Mike. I was like, "Fuck it, this is emotional shit."
I mean, even when he walks and you see his legs amputated, that's done so well because you think his back's messed up, and then it's just like,
that. I feel like that was like 10 minutes where we have David dying.
Yeah.
Kerry winning and then going on that bike ride. Cut to him like waking up not the next day. But he's an amputee, and then it's just so shocking. It cuts to Mike in the ring.
In the ring.
Like give it a
leave
break.
him alone.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of because you're kind of emotionally vulnerable at that point. I just couldn't have feel like
back to back.
He just wanted to play guitar, and suddenly now he's in the ring.
I feel like that, and that's such a tragic because you're already seeing the product of this family dynamic in the brothers and the way that the dad's influenced, and you're seeing him as like this hope to break out of it. And then when it cuts to him in the ring, it's like, oh, this is just not going to end well. There's no way. And then
what? 5 minutes later, he has.
And the first thing I was like, he's not going to be able to play guitar now. He's going to be. And then Oh God.
This is so horrible.
This film.
Another
his
one of my
parents, man.
favorite scenes is when after David died, and the mum is watching Kerry on the TV, and you see the ghost of David watching behind.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, of course he's there. Of course he's there watching his brother win.
Mike, you mean? I was like, I thought that was Mike. Is that a ghost of David?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a ghost of David. No, because you see it,
The blonde
and
hair,
then
isn't it?
you see the blonde hair, and she turns around, and then it's not there anymore.
Yeah, because I put it back as well. Because at
I
first I
played it
thought it was
back as
someone sitting on
well.
the stairs, and then I was like, no, wait, this is him. This is a ghost.
Yeah, I thought it was Mike because he was obviously nervous for his brother, and then she turned around as in like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
No, you
Um,
kind of
and
see
then he
the long it because I
Mm.
went back as well, but you could see the long blonde hair.
And there's not enough time for someone to have gone up the stairs, and there was no
No,
noise.
you
So I
would've-
think it was literally
yeah.
like a, he's not there.
That's true. Wow,
Yeah.
what a film.
So
Yeah, knows how
good.
to pull at the old heartstrings.
Yeah,
God
they
damn.
didn't have to do the heaven stuff, but yeah, that hit.
When
Yeah.
he flicks the coin and then it lands and then just sees his brothers waiting for him, and then you're like, but Kevin's not there. Kevin has to live on.
Yeah.
He'll get there.
He'll meet him. He'll meet him
He's
eventually.
still living. He's still living. He's doing
He's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a good
Yeah.
life. Is he still alive now?
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Wow. And what a lovely, at the end to see such a happy family of them all together.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
healthy family.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
I feel like you needed it after that film.
You did.
just
Yeah.
felt like,
Yeah.
Just sobbing my eyes out, just like, I need something, please.
It's like this. It's this whole something to be said for like the innocence and purity of youth and how healing it can be. Like you just seeing like the cycle of shame like just change in real time when he tells me, he's like, "Right, what's wrong with that? We cry all the time," and then he's
Oh.
like, "Oh fuck yeah, you're like yeah, you're right. There's literally nothing."
Because
wrong with
so his dad is a piece of shit. We know this.
Yeah.
But he bred them into this cycle,
Yeah.
and they adore him, but he never gave anything back. And it's finally like the kids, his own kids, have to break him out of this toxic cycle.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's what this film's crowning achievement is because it doesn't it villainizes the dad without being so explicit about it, because it doesn't villainize the sport.
No.
Villainize the sport, because I think a lot of films in this kind of vein, they want to be like, it's
the wrestling, it's that for their
Yeah.
beautiful contrast, because it is a gritty sport, especially back in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
It's not what it is now, and but I think it just works the contrast. Like that is arguably light compared to what they were going mental and emotional strain that their father was putting them through.
Yeah.
Kind of just, and as well, what you're saying about the afterlife as well is that Mike has the belt still.
Mm-hmm.
He has the belt still.
Does
and
he?
like how he died loving the sport as well, and it's like not vilifying the sport. And
yeah, that's really nice.
It's not the sport that drove them to this; it was their dad. And their dad will never join them in that place.
No.
Yeah, and that could have easily not. That they could have easily like sort of misfired with that and put a bad light on it. So that's really nice. But I don't remember seeing the belt.
No,
that's a really lovely touch.
And then at the end as well, when Fritz is talking to the mum, that his wife, he's like just talking off camera as well. Like he's talking out of the shot just to show how alone he is now.
Because even she's not
making the dinner.
She's not making the dinner. She doesn't care anymore. She's doing stuff for herself for once.
Yeah.
Because she used to paint before
him.
Before him. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes is at the end when Kerry's just killed himself and Kevin like gets his dad in the chokehold and he was like, "You didn't take care of them. You didn't do anything." It was just like, yes, thank God you're finally standing up to your dad because he has been the problem this whole time. And Kevin is the only one that ever cared for his brothers properly. Because at the start of the film, he's like, "Oh, you're being too hard on Mike. You need to chill out." And his dad's like, "No, he needs to be toughened up." And that's the most heartbreaking thing. Kevin only wanted to take care of his brothers, and
Yeah.
he lost all of them.
Mm.
It's
Even when
just-
he called
even
was
when
it
he called
Kerry?
yeah,
Kerry, when he called him on the phone and he called his dad and he was like, he really needs you. I'm going to try and get there as quick as I can. But
But
his dad was like, you guys need to sort it out. And he's like, can you please not just for once like fucking
yeah,
help him out? And then when he breaks it, because he breaks it, it mirrors the audience. The audience is broken. That's the first. But we're
Yeah.
like, we want to grab him and throttle him and go,
oh,
what the fuck are
100%.
you doing? And then he does it, and it's like, yeah, that whole part when he runs in the house, you hear the gunshot. And
Oh,
Kerry,
it's so close.
Heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and his voice like breaking. Just oh god, yeah. He was seconds away, and if
He
his
was
dad was
so
there,
close.
his dad could have stopped it, but his dad just like wanders over afterwards.
Yeah.
His dad doesn't even go over to the kid. The first thing he starts to see, he has a go at Kevin, right?
Yeah.
His name.
He was like, you weren't there.
Yeah.
Even though he was at the house, he came to the house.
Yeah, literally.
My very first note is literally the way that Dad talks about them being the favourites.
Oh, I would put so cavalier about favourites.
Yeah,
and none of them bat an eyelid. I was like, oh, this happens.
Oh yeah,
this is
what a house of sadness, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's also why I like Lily James's character, because she starts going towards like the middle of the film, like at the funerals or whatever. She's like, well, this is your dad's fault. Your dad is doing this to you.
Yeah.
And she's finally this outside perspective to kind
Which
of go.
you need sometimes you just don't see, and it's yeah. She's like, she starts providing that sort of positive doubt of like a viewpoint he's never had, right? It's and she fucking saves him. None of the others have that, really, do they? None of the others get something that good.
No.
The other brothers at that point.
No. Mikey just wanted to play the guitar, man.
He just wanted to play the guitar.
He just wanted to do his music and play the guitar.
That's it.
Oh, it's terrible.
And he was really good, and he was thriving, and everyone was excited around him. And his brothers didn't even want him to have to go into the wrestling.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh no, go do your own thing," and like,
and they were like, "We'll get you out of the house and take you to the thing, supporting him."
But even Kerry, he like missed his opportunity at the Olympics, and I think only went back into it because his brother died, and even then it was kind of like it's the point where Kevin's like, I'm gonna fight for my brother, I'm gonna win this title, and then Kerry's like, no, I want to do this, it should be me, and then the dad chooses him over Kevin again.
At the funeral, right? This is at the funeral.
Just after.
Like the way that he brings it up, like, yo, we need to protect the legacy.
And he's like, your son has just died.
Yeah, let alone let the brothers grieve. Like, how about the fact that this is your son? Even at the start of the funeral, he's like, take the sunglasses off. You're not gonna cry.
Yeah.
It's just like, mother, give him one day.
Yeah.
You can tell as well when before Mike got in the ring, like in the hospital room when Kerry had his leg amputated, it was like, Mike, we need you in the ring. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fucking hell, man. It's like, it's just horrible. Dickhead. Don't like it.
I do love the, like, at the start of the film when they're doing all of the tag team stuff. That was choreographed so well. And it was so well done, and you just got that nostalgia. Like, I haven't watched wrestling, but I was like, this is what it used to be like. It just looks so good.
It was the graphics for me.
Yeah.
Where it's like the main belt, and it's like set in like, I don't know, like a city shot. It's like all the old font and stuff. It's just
that was cool.
Like the first half is just purely a wrestling movie, isn't it? Like I've never really been into wrestling, but I was still interested, obviously, in how it's depicted.
Yeah, same.
And then it just like, I think it's after the wedding, it just changes.
It's as soon as that bathroom scene happens, you're like, something's up, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And it just snowballs constantly.
It's like you see the cracks, but you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
I remember thinking as well, I think that like,
no, go on. It's dancing at the wedding after that bathroom scene, and it just literally fades into Fritz sitting at the table knowing David's dead, and he just like,
oh my god,
that I know it's a change of topic, but that dancing scene went a bit viral because obviously Zac Efron has done loads of choreography in High School Musical, so everyone's like looking down at their feet, like making sure they get it right, and he's just like
Yeah, yeah.
I've been doing this for ages.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, what a great film. Genuinely. It's one of them ones where I'm like, I don't have to watch it for a while now, but I generally do love it. Yeah. Like it's like Whiplash, like it's a great film, but I don't think I have to watch it again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, unless I was to show it to someone, like then I'd
Yeah.
watch it. But
Yeah.
I love Whiplash as well, man. It's so good.
I'll be back in 1 second.
So what? I was going to say something about this film. Yeah, I think there was a point where there was like, I think probably just before the wedding of like, I feel like I had an awareness of like this film was probably gonna like wreck me. I was like, I know this is supposed to be like a drama, and I just got the sense it's gonna be quite sad. But I feel like I remember thinking like, I wonder when that's gonna sort of happen. Like, I wonder if anything's gonna. And then it just, I was like,
Stop! Please stop! Go away!
Like, please hold on. It just didn't stop.
I'm not ready.
Even at the end, I was like, oh my god.
Oh.
Also, I loved seeing the brotherly love. I loved seeing
The brotherly love was very nice.
how there for each other they were. Normally, at one point or another in one of these films, you see them do something reprehensible to the other, but it's just they all had the backs like all the way.
Yeah, they literally did have each other's backs, didn't they?
Which is great. Yeah.
I love the scene like sneaking Mike off to the
Yeah.
you need to play music,
Yeah.
and they're all just there and just having a good time.
Mm.
And then when Mike wanted to get burgers and Kevin was like, no, let's not get burgers. And he was like, Kerry always gets a burger. And he just cuts to all them, just eating a burger in the car. So nice.
It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice because you can see that they're not trying to pass on anything to their brother, even though they've probably got to restrict the diets and everything. And like they're there for him fundamentally. It's so nice to see them not get tainted by the dad in that way. And like when they sneak Mike out, they sneak him out of the house. Everything like I remember thinking like this is so great, but probably because of other films, I wonder when the point will be when they all start falling out and it all goes to shit. But it wasn't. It was nice to see that wasn't the case. That they all.
I think Kerry does kind of.
Yeah, the only real argument is probably between Kerry and.
And in the locker room, he walks off with the dad at the end.
Kerry's probably slightly the outlier. But even then, Kevin's always
because he had that opportunity for the Olympics and stuff, and his dad was so proud of him, and he, I guess, loved his dad. But
and he did sort of try to like when we walked off in the locker room, didn't he? After Kevin had that big fight for the title, and he walked off with the dad, and I was like, man, like you're not there from then. But then he's sort of by the end, he's still like he was calling Kevin and keeping in touch with him and going to him for help. But
that's the thing; they never. Even when, like, the dad picks favorites, even when, like David gets picked over Kevin or Kerry gets picked over Kevin, they're always kind of there for each other first, but they still always go off with what the dad says. Like it's like what the dad says is law.
Yeah,
we can be there for each other, but we can't go against what he says because he is our idol. He's the one that got us this far. It's just such a toxic relationship.
And I think because they've kind of been like isolated for a while in it with that farm and that family life. When Kevin and Pam, have sex in that car for that first time, he's got to be like what, like 24, 25, and he hasn't done anything with it. It's just
even the way he talks to her, it's like he's been raised in some alien location and he doesn't really know how to talk to girls or interact with people that well. Like
asking the. I think Pam was a bit forward when they first met, but like I think it's just conversation.
She knows what she wants.
She
wants to wrestle him,
and she still buy him all the time. And
do you not think when they're on their date and he tells her about the little brother, do you think she was like, at first thought I was like, she was like putting it on a bit. She was like, let me give you a hug. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this girl is not like being totally trustworthy. But then it just kind of dropped.
I didn't really get that sense. I don't think I thought it was like just a sweet moment, but maybe
that's fair.
Maybe I
see the
stupidly optimistic. And you're cynical. I'm like, oh, she's great, and then she's like murders them all. I'm like, oh no.
Well, because you don't know what happens. Like like obviously it's history and it's a true story, but like when I was in the cinema watching it, I was like, fucking Kevin's gonna die as well, and then he's gonna have a little baby and the kid's gonna die or something. It's just
everyone just
the fact that
died.
he like separated himself from his family because of like he believed in this curse
And changed the kid's last name to his original last name.
Oh,
because he's like, I can't do
that was
this. I can't be.
that was after another death, wasn't it? It was like after like.
Oh, after Mike's death, where he like fully shut off, and he's like, I can't.
That's when he changes the name, and when he gives a different name, and that's when he starts.
Kudos to Mike's actor, man, because after that accident, yeah, and you're just so sad when he's just.
You know, he's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. He. It's like he's trying to be so much himself, but you can just tell that there's just it's just off. There's bits missing, and you're like,
and like even like the first thing they have to do is like let the audience know, like not the audience, like us, like letting the press know, like I'm sure he'll be back fighting before long. And I might be wrong, but isn't his dad stood in the hallway at that point? Is that the point you're on about?
They look over and he's like, yeah, he's gonna go back in the ring.
Is that the point you were on about before, Lauren, or was that the part at the start of the film?
At the start of the film when he's in darkness, because you're like, this guy is.
This man's always looming. That's what it
looming. He's haunting the narrative.
When did Fritz? Fritz isn't alive anymore?
No, 1997, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, how far after?
Oh no, that might be.
Kerry's death was that? Like how? I wonder how
Kerry died 93.
Yeah, 93. Yeah.
Was it 4 years later? Was it 97?
Yeah, because I'm sure Mike was 6 years before Kerry in 87.
Wow.
18th of Feb 1993, Kerry.
Wow. How old's Kevin now?
Gotta be 60s, I think.
60s, probably.
67. 67 years old.
God. It's nice he got a happy ending in the end with his big family.
Yeah.
He needed that. He needed it so bad.
What's his dad's name? Fritz. Yeah, just a great. Yeah, 97. You were right with that.
It became like my nerdy thing. I was researching it all the time, because I liked it when it's a true story. I like to see, because you can't fit a true story in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You can't fit someone's life, let alone a family's life, in however long. So I like to see what they missed out, or what they dramatized, or what they did. I like to see what the difference was in the actual true story and what happened in the film.
And normally it ends up disappointing in some way. It's like half of these events didn't happen, or these characters were fine, or these characters and you're like, what? But I don't think I've ever heard of it where there was actually so much trauma in such a traumatic film that they had to leave out extra trauma.
Yeah. So it was actually,
people wouldn't believe, and they didn't have time. You're like that. Yeah, that makes it even more like, wow, okay, this really went down. Because you'd expect to look at it and be like, there was 2 brothers and one of them was fine, and they just did. You know what I mean? But
the industry kind of plays with the term like based on a true story.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think this film does live up to it. Where
actually there was some film recently that was like based on a true story, and I think it was from the trailer. I was like, I know that's not based on a true story.
That's not true.
It just isn't. Like, I can't even remember.
Oh, it's the Christmas one. The fucking the one where he's airport security. What's that one?
Carry on. Yeah.
Is that based on a true? Is that based on a true story? Is that what they say?
I remember it.
I mean, I watched it because it has. I watched it because it has Taron Egerton in it.
Taron Egerton, your baby.
My baby, he's so cute.
Some say you're Haley Steinfeld, Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, I think Lawrence Haley Steinfeld will be Alexandra
Daddario. Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of the.
Yeah, she's on 100%. She's on the list. Lauren, have you watched True Detective season 1?
I've watched like a scene. I can't think of which scene.
You watched one scene.
I mean, Obama liked it, so I'm allowed. Obama watched it.
It's not in the note. Alexandra Daddario got the titties out. It was the best scene of the show.
Away with the subtlety.
Oh, I was trying to play it off, Reese. I was trying to
There's
play it
some
off.
people not in the know, you know. You just gotta tell
I
them.
had photos of Alexandra Daddario on my phone
I was
before
gonna
I
say, like,
realized
just
I was
literally-
bi. I
Yeah,
had photos of
that's
her
so
like
good.
in her
That's
like
so good.
Baywatch outfit and stuff like that. And I was like,
Mhm.
I'm 100% straight. This
Not gonna
This is
lie.
the
This is
re-
just-
Oh,
this is
what?
just a growing moment for me.
What'd you
Percy
say, Will?
Jackson was very much a growing
She's got
moment.
weird eyes.
fuck off.
She's got gorgeous eyes. You
Weird
take it
eyes.
She
easy.
got so nice.
They're real nice eyes.
I did start watching Percy Jackson because I'd read the books first, and I saw Alexandra Daddario. It's like, firstly, I was like, she's fit. Secondly, I was like, which character is this? Is this Clarice? And then it was
Yeah.
like, oh no,
Is this,
oh
is
no.
this the girl that? Oh, this is the girl that's blonde. Oh,
Oh
okay,
yeah, this is the
okay.
girl that's supposed to be
Oh,
like
this is
cool.
who this is. Yeah.
Oh shit, let's
Don't
quickly
matter.
dye her hair for the second
Don't
one.
The
matter.
second one. Yeah,
It don't matter.
Did she dye hair for the second one?
yeah,
Yeah, she's
yeah,
blonde in
remember
the
that.
second one.
yeah.
Crazy.
Can we put those on the list? I've seen them
I
a
don't-
thousand
All I
times.
remember is that they're in a cave at some point. And that's all I
Yeah, the
remember.
first one is crap.
Oh, first one was. I loved the first one.
They are kind of my guilty pleasure films because they're nothing like the books, but I still love them
Yeah.
so much.
I
You can
remember really
you can
enjoying the
reduce it
first
with an
one.
iPhone,
But
you know what I mean? You just gotta enjoy it.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm-
yeah, it's so good.
I enjoyed the first one, but I remember being like, yeah, but this is nothing like the book. So I think it was like, okay, this is like they've taken the thing and it's like they made a film, whatever. I remember thinking that the second one was a lot more like the book until the end, and then I was like, oh my god,
It was
this is,
so.
this they jumped
I
to like
don't
the
know what's
last
going
book,
on.
like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
This is so strange.
Do you think they knew that they weren't gonna have any more? Or
Probably.
Well, they teased the next one, didn't
They
they? 'Cause
teased the
set
next
up
one because it's got Talia in it.
Talia coming out of the tree. They teased that. I don't know, they
Talia
didn't do
who?
it.
Talia? I don't know. Talia.
Have you not read the books? Reese.
Dude, Percy Jackson books were amazing.
They raised
And then there's
me.
this. There was the Heroes of Olympus. Was after that as well.
They were so good.
You had Percy Jackson. I had Cherub, where it's kids spies, and it's like it's cool. You know what I mean?
Is that just a Birmingham thing?
Cherub.
No.
That's what they had.
Right, Cherub. I always
Just run around and
Cherub and Cherub.
Cherub.
get a
Cherub.
big Johns.
Get Big John's, get you cherub.
That's it. Get your big Johns.
Cherub. Yeah.
I remember reading The Heroes of Olympus and I opened the first book and I was like, who the fuck is Jason?
Yeah. You know what?
Yes,
This is
yeah.
reminding me now. I'd never read Percy Jackson, and I got the Heroes of Olympus one, the first one.
Yeah.
I think my parents got it for me because it was about Greek myth and they thought I'd like it. And it was
Mhm.
thankfully it was Jason and all that. And it didn't, nothing spoiled for me about Percy Jackson. And I read it, I was like, oh, hang on, this is like way further down. So I went back, read all Percy Jackson, and then caught up. Thank God it was that one, and I didn't read like
Yeah.
the next one and
Oh,
got like
God.
massive spoilers. But
Yeah.
they were so good. Those books. Anyway, we got off onto a different thing again. The Iron Claw.
I'm How the fuck?
Maybe after when the year's up, we can put together a feature length of all the times we talked about other things. We'll be
Other
like,
things.
in this episode, we talk about Percy Jackson and takeaway food and Birmingham.
Well, I know Emmy's not here. Did she fall asleep during this one, or is she?
No, we only watched it today.
Did,
Ah,
did,
I
did
watched
she
it. I
enjoy
think I
it?
was
She hasn't.
midday, sitting up in the living room,
Nice.
and she won't fall asleep.
there you
Did
go.
she enjoy the wrestling side of the film, or?
No, I can't. All of you should watch WWE, 'cause it's fun.
I always that's one of my notes. I
Oh,
was
it's
like,
ridiculous.
do they rehearse this? And then they do have that little clip scene
Scene.
where they're like
Mm.
talking
They're-
about what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I
But-
think it's the way that I kind of explained it to Emmy is, especially back then, it's very rock paper scissors kind of esque.
Mhm.
Whereas in like, oh, I'm gonna come in with this, then it's kind of up to you to decide what you're gonna do next. Like,
Yeah.
either like take it and then do something back to me, or you can kind of like reverse it and maybe that swings the but it's basically just a big game of rock paper scissors as a dance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is the winner predetermined, or is it decided based on performance?
Nowadays the winner is completely predetermined, but I think
That's
back then I think it was kind of up in the air, like
Yeah.
could have
A bit like someone could get knackered and then they could be out and you don't know. Because otherwise, it's like when they were on about like winning the thing, whatever. There'd be no competition element to it. Like as far as I understood it nowadays, I feel like it's pretty scripted, and they set up like storylines and all that sort of stuff.
Like nowadays, it's you've got to be the biggest, you've got to be the strongest, you've got to be the most entertaining. Well, and I think that's kind of just how it always has been. If you're not entertaining,
there's no point in you doing it.
Like Kevin didn't have, he wasn't any good on the mic, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he didn't have that thing about him.
Trash talk.
God, that first hit when he gets, is it suplexed into the concrete? I was like, oh.
Can we just say about how Zac Efron is brilliant as some of them? I hope they didn't use a stunt because
I was watching very closely, and some of that stuff he for sure did.
If they didn't use a stunt double for Zac Efron, holy crap!
Yeah, they were so good.
Unless they put dots on his face.
But he got so built for the whole thing.
Yeah.
I doubt they would have just gone, because
Yeah,
he
was
looks
some,
exactly like him.
Flying kicks and shit he did, like boom, straight up, and I was like, that is his face. Way.
Fight choreography is a lot like dance choreography.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to do a film like this, then
you're kind of expected to,
like to give that a crack. Yeah. As much.
And so I think some shots they linger on it as well to show like these are actual.
These are
doing it, you know what I mean? They're not like I hate when a fight is like. I did watch something recently. I was like, Reacher season 2. After I watched it, Alan Ritchson went on record and he was like, some of them fights are crap because they're just so cutty.
Oh really?
Because because you don't want them to see the
do you know what I mean? I hate fights to do it. Like Daredevil was amazing for keeping
John Wick in that as well. I was like,
when
you can use the actors and you're not having to cut away. What I hate as well is when they use like choppy fucking like, and that's like also the style. Like it's not just to hide that, but like they think that's. And you just have like a headache.
No, I just want to watch this person get punched in the face multiple times. I don't need to see it from 15 different angles.
Yes, literally.
That's why like John Wick's great because you can just have the setup and just watch them do their thing.
Follow him through, man.
And just follow him through doing it.
That was directed by stunt directors, isn't it? So
they
heavy.
So they knew what they were doing. That's why it's so damn good. Is it like Chad Stahelski or something? That's his name.
Yeah, you've got that. You've nailed that.
Because there's the new ballerina film that comes out.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you were about Barbie, and I was like, what's that going to do with?
Because it's got what's his name? Thordak in Vox Machina, the voice actor that died. He's in this film. Lance Reddick, yeah. Because he's in the new ballerina John Wick spin-off thing.
Yeah, because it's.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, how long ago was this filmed? Because that was like 2 years ago now.
They've been talking about it for years. It's crazy.
I think it's a good way to go off with a film like that. Anyway, the Iron Claw.
That's how they do it, isn't it?
That's how they do it.
That's how they do it in the big movies.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a tough film.
It's heavy.
It's a tough go, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, because I think the topics that it kind of touches on, I think it does it quite. Is tastefully the right word?
Yeah.
Because they show like, it's not just we're just gonna put this in there because whatever.
Yeah.
You see them struggling. You see the thought process. You see the effect of it afterwards. It's not like they shy away from it at any point. And it's not like they do it for kind of shock value. It's done how it might have been done when it actually happened, and I think it's good that they kind of do that.
It always bugs me when something's done for shock value, especially with like a serious issue, because it feels like it's like you're making almost entertainment out of it in a way now.
Yeah.
Like you're taking it to that level where it's like too much gore or something like that, where it just feels like it's like because out of my head now. Because
in the scene when Kerry dies, you see a bit of blood on the floor. That's it. They never show the actual wound.
This is like one of my I think we've talked about this before, but this is like one of my gripes with a lot of films is when they don't let the audience think for themselves and they decide to tell you and show you overtly everything. And it's like, you think it for a second and it's like, yeah, you were right. And also, do you remember how you were right? Well, we're just going to let you know again that you were right. And
you are correct.
You are correct. And in the credits, it says you were right the whole time. Like,
Thank you very much. I feel
good to have that.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great film.
I just
Any
love
other notes from anyone? Oh,
just
yeah.
the
go on.
70s vibe, like the costuming, the
music.
music,
Yeah,
the
the
music.
I
hair.
did write a
the
note
hair.
or two actually. Now I've
They
just
had
remembered.
Don't Fear the Reaper, which is in all of my playlists. I love that
Blue
song.
Oyster Cult.
What's it
Do you
called?
want to sing it for me? Because I don't know what that is.
Don't fear the reaper,
Reaper.
in my hand. Don't
Yeah.
fear
Don't fear the Reaper, yeah.
the
But it's the main song as well, like the one Mike's singing and then it plays at the end. Like I
Mhm.
love that song
Oh.
so much, but I don't think I can listen to it on its own
No.
because like this is just it's so ingrained in this movie that I'm just
When they play it towards the end and it's just the sadder version. I both love and hate when movies do it because
Wait, what?
it's
They replayed some of the music.
so. Do you know the song that Mike sings at the party? They replay it later in the film, but it's like a slowed down, sadder version of it. I don't know if it's
isn't that him
Oh,
trying to play it when
yeah.
Is it
he's
at the
trying
point
to
where
do
the guys? Yeah.
Yeah, but I both love and hate it because I'm like, this song is so good, but now I'm only going to remember the sad version and cry over the sad version of the song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, kudos. Like obviously Zac Efron has his flowers. Everyone's good, but like Mike is actor as well after his accident. He's just so
Yeah, that's incredible to do that.
yeah.
I also think just like David had such a in terms of the whole film, like he's in most of the start of it, but then obviously he's off in the. I think just his presence on the screen, I loved him. Every scene he was in,
Yeah.
I was like, I
Obviously, his dad felt the same, and that's why he put it forward for wrestling more.
don't.
What you're saying is you're just like Fritz von Erich. That's what we're saying now, is it?
Wow.
Not in like the Nazi wrestler way.
I was gonna say, yeah. Lawrence Dark
That's the worst thing you've ever said to me. I'm so offended. How
No,
dare you?
You
I
changed the
kid.
title of Lauren Hates Film to Lauren Hates something else.
Lauren hates Reese.
Lauren Hates Reese.
I'm gonna change the title now.
I didn't realize, but apparently I wrote a paragraph on David in my notes. I thought I had no notes for this film, but I'm allowed.
I love you, David.
I love
Don't Fear the Reaper. It's just that song. That's my only two notes, and then a paragraph about David.
Oh my god! Go on,
I don't
read
even know if it's
paragraph.
probably stuff that we've already talked about.
What does it say? When you win.
Well, apparently.
I was just talking about how the repressed emotion in the family and all of it, and the death of Davidson so like underwhelmingly, in like the best way, like how it's just like the straight cut to, and like you were saying about that earlier, and it's like so it mirrors so often like things like that where it's like, oh, so and so's dead, and you're like, what the fuck, and it just cut, you know what I mean, like it snaps you like that.
I wonder how
it always makes you think of I remember reading Deathly Hallows. And I remember seeing the line. Spoilers for Harry Potter from 15 years ago or whatever, but the line when Mad Eye dies, and I remember reading that, and it's just like Mad Eye's dead, and I was like, "What?" Like,
just say it in Donald Gleason. Mad Eye's dead.
Mad Eye's dead. Yeah.
15 minutes. Let's rank this. Bitch.
Let's rank this.
Let's rank it.
Ranking. Let's rank off.
Oh my god, I don't even know how to rank. I need to start thinking about the rankings a little bit because I just go, oh, I don't know, guys.
I know where this is going for me.
I'm not gonna lie.
I know where this is going for me.
It's pretty up
there.
there.
Right.
I know where this is going. Yeah.
Is it
I know
better? Should we start proceedings? Now let's go from the bottom. Is it better than Susan?
It's better than Cinema, yeah.
Is it better than The Holiday?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it better than The Edge of 17? No, I'm joking. Imagine. Is it better than Booksmart? Better than Klaus?
Is that yours?
That is my representation.
Jeez, that's low.
Wow. Is it better than The Goonies? Is it better than The Holdovers? Better than Pulp Fiction? We're still on 3. Better than Eternal Sunshine? Still on 3. Last one. Better than Fantastic Mr. Fox? Yeah! Here we go! Here we go.
It was as
Ooh.
soon as I watched it, I was
Takes
like,
the
this is
top
my
spot.
number one.
So
Oh, what a
good.
film! What a film! And do you know what? How
Will,
great
I'm
it's a recent film as
surprised.
well.
I still stand by my thing of there's loads that are gonna go between us.
One.
Where I am.
It's
I
gonna
think
happen. It's gonna happen.
Klaus
Yeah, we'll get there.
Up is such like an elite group of films for me,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah, it's a hard choice. From,
I don't know
yes,
what I would put above Klaus. I can't remember. I need to have a think. But
No, I do. I love Klaus, yeah, but this, I think this, I don't know.
I
They
think
did
There's how many number
I
ones.
kind of take what Reese
changes.
says, but I kind of do it in another way where it's like, I can't watch this film for a while now. I can't watch this film for a while.
Hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very, but I think just the way that it's done, the story that it tells,
Mhm.
just every part of it for me. There wasn't a single bit where I was like, oh, I didn't really like that, or
Yeah,
I
Never,
didn't really like
Agreed.
that. I was like,
Like,
oh, I
I've-
didn't really like
I've-
that choice. But
never been a
You
fan
put
of
the
Reservoir
pacing like
Dogs
that.
in this film. Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
it's a treat of acting, directing, cut, like editing.
It's a film of life, and it's a film of this trauma, and like everyone can relate to all these different parts in these things. It's not like a wrestling film, is it? It's like the
Yeah.
wrestling is part of it, but
Definitely.
But yeah, for me, putting it at 8 it's not an insult. Putting it at 8.
No, not at all.
God,
No.
no, yeah, just all the other ones that you
Look,
love so
it
much.
was good. It was enjoyable. Edge 17 was dog shit. This is what I mean. Like tonight, there was this. I'm saying it every week. I'm just reminding of it every single week. There's this huge goal.
Yeah,
Mhm. We'll get there
We
eventually.
will get there
There
because
is,
there's 80
yeah.
films on this
So
list.
anytime
To
I
be
put
fair,
a
there is
film
for me as
at
well.
8, it
Yeah.
doesn't rubbish.
It's not a bad film.
Like far from it.
Yeah. Wow.
Those films go at 9.
I was really
Yeah.
debating in my head. I was like, will the guys put this number one? Because I know I'm putting it at number
I know
one.
that
It's
Summer.
hard.
I saw you go like
Around Eternal Sunshine,
Eternal.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, I don't know, because it's such different films. But I
That's
honestly,
yeah.
I'm happy with that where it is. I think I would have put it above Fantastic Mr. Fox, so them two would have been a toss up for me.
Me and Emmy were on the train
But,
down
yeah.
to London, and I think Lauren messaged it. I think Thoma messaged. I can't remember which of you two messaged first.
I
Just
think
like
it was Thomas, yeah.
it's like Reese, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that was me.
Oh,
And
that
that
was
was Lauren.
And then the other one, I just cried the whole time, and I just went, ah. That was it. And then I got today, and I was just like, oh, it's a film about wrestling. It's gonna be, the corny, and I was just like, yeah, rock ball. But yeah, that was good.
Yeah. No, you get to the end and he's just sitting there with his kids. I was like, please just end now. They can't, like,
Yeah.
what more
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
do?
Please. And then an eagle swoops down and takes one of his kids away. Yeah.
Randy Orton
Dwayne the Rock Johnson turns up with John Cena and Dave
The family
Bautista.
Apparently Zac Efron did talk to John Cena about like the wrestling moves.
Yeah.
That just popped up on YouTube. So
weren't they in a film recently together? The
Yeah.
Oh.
About the mate who doesn't insist to be
Ricky Stinicky or something.
Sticky Ricky or something? Not Sticky Ricky.
That's the other version. That's the other version.
Ricky Stinicky or something like that. I can't remember.
Ricky, yeah,
I think that's right.
Sticky Ricky.
Sounds like the nickname that Donald Trump would give you.
When's the Sticky Ricky film?
Ricky Stinicky was a film with Zac Efron and John Cena in it.
Yeah. That's pretty handy prep for him to.
Probably better than this film. You know what I mean? It's probably got like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, hasn't it, or some shit like that.
It's got a 6.2 review on IMDb.
Yeah.
So about average.
I'll say it again. Where is the Sticky Vicky film?
We don't need
the
it.
The Iron Vagina or something. Yeah.
Iron Vagina.
Okay, we're gonna spin the wheel now.
We're gonna end the call 5 seconds before that.
God, I thought we were all adults here. You know what I mean?
The
We can
iron
say
vagina. No,
we
thank
can say
you.
vagina, people. Okay.
Margaret
That wasn't the part I had a problem with, to be honest. You can say that part.
Will.
What did he say?
He goes, "That's Margaret Thatcher in it."
She's dead. She doesn't care.
Yeah, she's dead. So is Sticky Vicky, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be real sad.
Iron vagina. That's so good.
Can we spin the wheel now, please?
Yes, real man. Let's
Let's spin the wheel.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's spin Pirates of the Caribbean.
Let's get Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm off Transformers right now. It's Pirates of the Caribbean all the way.
Ah, man.
Oh, do I need to stop
Wait,
presenting?
Reese, what did you watch last night? Because that is what we're gonna watch.
I watched. What did I watched this last night?
Oh, I was gonna spin on it again somehow.
Last film I watched before this was The Lion King, though. Right after that Hans Zimmer
I
concert.
don't think it's on
I
there.
hope Lawrence.
I've seen The Lion King.
Christ almighty. All right, here we go.
Are we ready?
Let's spin the
Pirates
wheel.
of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Here we go.
Transformers.
Not Transformers. Pirates of the Caribbean all the way. Ooh.
Okay.
It's our
Oh,
first.
that is.
It's our
That is
first
the trilogy, though.
trilogy.
I mean, are we gonna watch all three, or are we gonna replace the first one with the second one, like as we
No,
go?
so when it's got the little asterisk there, we watch it week after week, all three of them.
Week after week. Okay.
Christ, that's a lot of apes.
Yeah.
Man.
We
That's
agreed
a-
on this, man.
It's a lot
But
of
I'm not
apes.
gonna lie, one of the best cinematic trilogies out there, to be honest.
I'm guessing we're watching the new ones.
New one with
100%.
Yeah.
No, we're watching the Mark Wahlberg one where fucking Helena Bonham Carter is a horny ape wanting to fucking the whole movie. That happens.
Oh, that's a real film. Yeah.
That's the real film. that
So are
happens.
we watching one week, and then the next week we watch the next one, and then okay, cool.
Yeah.
All
And do you know what? With that trilogy,
Good.
it is well deserving of one after the other.
Mhm.
To be fair, it's been a good while since
So,
I've seen it.
hang on.
So who's watched these films?
I've seen
Hey,
the first
hey,
one.
so can I add 3 films to my watched list? Can I add 3 now that I've seen?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I forgot to update that.
See, it's all starting to turn up for Donna.
No, all you
Damn
guys
it.
I'll say the same.
Smacked my knee.
Hang on, which one are we watching? The 1968 version or
No, it's
The new ones.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Rise of the Planet? Okay.
Yeah.
The James Franco one, which is going to be a
James
little bit dicey now. But
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't know.
it's all good. It's called Planet of the Apes, not Planet of the James Franco.
That
13 years old.
that trilogy, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
really
that's
excited.
really good. I haven't seen the last one. I don't think since I saw it in cinema. It's been a while. I feel like the other ones are always on TV, but I haven't seen the last one.
Lauren, you've never saw any of them. Is that right? Okay.
God damn, you're in for
Nada.
you're in for a
You're in
while,
for a,
right?
yeah, in for a treat, man.
And this is good because this is the first one that Jake will actually want to watch with me.
Oh, there you go. Well,
We got a trilogy, just not the trilogy we wanted, but it's okay.
So it's
yeah. But
Rise,
eventually, now we've taken out 3 films in the running, kind of now. So
so it's Rise, Dawn, War, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, Lauren, don't watch them in the wrong order.
Rise, then Dawn, then War.
What do you take me for?
Silly
Yeah.
Billy.
That's silly, Billy.
We're not going to add it to the list, but Kingdom, when we finish that, if you want some extra homework, Kingdom's quite good as well.
I watched that. I wasn't that. I thought it was all right.
Didn't Andy Serkis direct this?
No, he is the main character.
He plays Caesar, but
Yeah, he probably plays Caesar.
Spoilers.
I knew that.
Also, if you want to watch behind the scenes and stuff, is like amazing for this.
Oh,
Me.
I'm still presenting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I didn't want to say
Actually,
anything.
Interestingly enough, maybe it's not. I think it's interesting. The new one, the Kingdom or whatever, I haven't seen it, but they released a version where it's just the actors in mocap for the like entire thing.
Real
which
good.
would be. I haven't seen it, but I wasn't. I thought the film was alright, so I've not been desperate to go back and watch it. But I bet that'd be a really interesting choice. Oh, Will's doing it. He's already there.
I thought you were doing the Nick Frost thing from Shaun of the Dead when he.
Has Emmy seen these before?
You've seen the first one
Fair.
with
Okay.
Tom Holland in it.
The
Oh, yeah.
first compared to the second and third is like a very big.
It's a very big. The second and third are incredible. The first one is
okay.
good.
I was gonna say
No,
which
first
way.
one's don't underestimate the first one.
Golden Gate Bridge, doesn't it?
No, I remember. I mean, I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a good film.
It's like one of my favorite like
Uh,
like setup films. Like it just
Yeah.
nails like setting up that world. And
if the other two hadn't come, I wouldn't be as fussed about the film. I think I appreciate it more because of the other two. But it's a good film.
people tend to think Matt Reeves directed all of them. He directed the Batman. And these Dawn and War were the first were the films before the Batman they directed. And man, when he was announced directing the Batman, I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we're in for
This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
If he can do apes, he can do bats. Like he's gonna be
100%.
all over this.
What's his name? Who wrote
Something's in my
the guy who wrote the new Jurassic World ones?
Colin Trevorrow, I believe.
Yeah, aren't they written by?
Was that? I don't know.
He was going to do a Star Wars, wasn't he? He was going to do the last Star Wars.
9, they completely scrapped it.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a film come out around the time, and that was shite. I know the new Jurassic World's being directed by Gareth Thomas, I want to say, who did Rogue One and
maybe
Godzilla, I want to say.
Which Godzilla?
Gareth Thomas, one of my underrated directors. Like
Rogue One was
He
awesome.
deserves flowers.
But then I can never remember like how much of Rogue One was done by Ron Howard before he left, because that was a good load. I'm sure he was.
Was it done? I didn't know.
I think he was director for a while. I think he left partway through the project, so I don't know how much.
No, but Gareth Thomas is real good at like scale.
Didn't he do that new one with? Didn't he do that new one with John David Washington?
The creator.
I didn't enjoy that. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I watched it and I was like, I thought it was all right, but I thought it was a bit flat for me.
Oh, I quite enjoyed it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I remember wanting to.
I think the story was a little bit predictable. Like, oh, this is going to happen here.
Yeah, I think that's why.
This is going to happen, but I don't think that annoys me a lot, to be honest. I think sometimes like being predictable is like you're predicting what these characters are going to do. That means they're good characters. You know what I mean? Like or they're well written, where you know that character and what they're going to do at this point.
Because they don't have to like change your expectation every single time, because what's the point?
And you don't have to have some crazy twist every time just to make you whatever. But
like shock factor's good, but then if you're rewatching the film, you already know what's going to happen, so it needs to hold up on its own.
Yeah, that's true.
The shock factor.
But I think I remember like I don't mind when I see like some sort of dystopian film and they don't show you a lot about the world. If anything, sometimes I prefer that when they don't tell you a lot about what's going on or why something is the way that it is. But I feel like this world, I remember thinking like it's showing us quite a bit, and I remember thinking like I kind of want to see more of this world, and I feel like we're just kind of seeing what we could have seen. Yeah. I don't know, maybe had it not been set in the future as much, or something. I don't know, because he was like driving on a highway, and I remember just thinking like, I don't know. Maybe I just wanted a bit more from it, but maybe on a rewatch. Who knows?
A minute left.
Oh, okay.
That
was the end.
It's my Encore tribute.
Please don't ever again. Do you know they do the Iron Claw in Liar Liar? And she's the mum in that film is the mum in this film. Oh, fun piece of trivia.
Why do they do the Iron Claw?
It's just they do it as like Jim Carrey does it to his son as like a joke.
Oh, the claw goes all over him.
I'm gonna go for a shit, so I'm gonna be about 20 minutes.
Lovely.
Enjoy.
I'm putting that in the edit.